In my life, I realized that my story is my message, my experience is my message. So I've been wanting to to tell it out to the world since forever.
Wow.
But then, the courage wasn't there. And in fact, when I encountered you, I had reasons to testify. But there is one thing I'm still trusting God for is confidence to be able to stand and talk to people.
Amazing. And we can't wait to hear your story. Run us through it.
Okay, so I'm from a very dysfunctional background. I have 3 siblings from my mom. So we are 4 in general, and I'm the last child. So my dad is an elderly man. He's 100 thereabout.
Wow.
Right now, yes. And so if I'm the last child, and our first from my mom is 35. So you can guess how old I am. So I'm quite young. When I was born, I met my dad being an old man. So there's no point where we had this father and daughter conversation, because where he is here, and then I am here. So there was no point in time we had good
rapport.
Yes, at all. And I grew up without my mom being with us. And when I asked questions, I was told by my elder brother, my dad gave us a very wrong picture. My elder brother is, he was quite young when all of this was happening, but he did not forget. So it was after a while, he now said, come, let me tell you what happened. What daddy is saying is false. So it was tough, and my dad did not handle it well. My dad, being a traditional man, went to the village to speak to people that my wife is misbehaving. She's having mental problems and all of that. And then they told him, and maybe it's because she's sleeping around. Maybe it's because she's doing dirty things. That's why. That's why she's having, is a repercussion. It's something. And he sent her away. I can remember I was quite young. My mom would come to the house just to be with me, to see us. And my dad would call the police on her. She fought one time. Maybe I was 6 years old or 5. She fought the policemen to a point that she tore their clothes. And it was bad, because all she wanted was just to be with her children. But she had to go. So they told her, I don't know whether it's a restraining order or so, because she's not educated. So they told her that she shouldn't be seen near the house. If they see her around the house, they'll get her arrested. But she was still coming once in a while.
Children.
Yes, just to see us and all. So I knew that she wasn't okay, but I wasn't in a position to help her, either to go to the hospital or whatever.
When you say she wasn't okay, like mentally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mentally, she wasn't okay. And I remember when I told her that I want to get married, I called her, I said, I want to get married. And she was shocked. She was like, she gave birth to me yesterday. Getting married. To her, maybe I'm still 6. I'm still 8, because she didn't grow with me. Yeah, she didn't grow with me. So it was very, very, it came as a shock to her. So, my childhood experience is like 100 years experience, because 1001 things happened in a year.
Wow.
A whole lot that I can use 3 days to talk about it, and I won't repeat myself.
Wow.
Yes. So talking about it now, I have to just pick from here, and just, I can't.
And put together.
I can't say everything the way it is. But when I grew up, or while I was growing up, we had this setting in the house that it is one man for himself. Yes. So there was money. My dad was okay. He was working with the government, and then there was money. We attended good schools, but it was one man for himself. And me and my siblings, we were not close. In fact, we started trying to build relationship from last year.
Despite being the same father and mother.
Yes, we don't have a good relationship. My dad stopped paying my school fees when I was in SS1. He stopped. So from my SS1 to this very moment, no dime came from any family member or my dad.
How did you survive?
Okay, so till today, I'm still owing my secondary school.
Oh.
Yeah, they allowed me write, my maths teacher, he allowed me write WAEC and WAEC. I couldn't afford NECO. He allowed me, he paid for me and said, later you come back and pay me. I was owing the school fees. I remember when I wanted to go for NYC and I went there to get my WAEC result. And the principal said, you are owing us first term, second term school fees. And you are owing Mr. Okay. He wrote it down that they should not release this certificate to you unless you pay me my money.
Wow.
Yes. So I was like, okay, I will pay. I even pay double, but give me first. He refused. He said the only thing is he can snap it and send it. Since when you go to NYC, you just need to write your details there.
Numbers,
yeah,
yes.
You don't need to give them the paper.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I left. And that was how I went for NYC. And so I finished. I went to school, Kogi State University. I did my 100 level, my 200 level, my 100 level. It was a miracle. A backstory. I told my dad that I had gained admission. I wanted to go to school. He said, I'm not going anywhere. That I have to stay back and take care of him. I shouldn't go to school. I said, me, I'll go. I will go to school. So he started laying courses and said, if you go, you won't succeed. He was just talking and talking. I said, I will go. So I called my uncle, who is a pastor in Kubwa. I was in Lokoja. I called him. I said, this is what my dad is saying. He said, he can't say that. You go to school. So he came around and then said, I'm following him. Like, he's taking me.
To school?
Not to school.
Oh,
like
to
just,
back
yes, to Abuja or somewhere.
Wow.
I'm not going to school. That he just wants to take me for a while. And that was what we told him. And he said, okay, no problem. And that was how I left.
Wow.
For 1 whole year, I didn't speak with my dad. We did not communicate. 1 year, for 2 years and more. I didn't call him. He didn't call me. No, how are you? No, what's happening to you? No, have you eaten? I remember, and my elder sister, we are 2 boys and 2 girls. So my elder sister was in 400 level.
Okay.
My dad had a land in my school.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Aingba. So he came to check it. I think he wanted to sell it, or he had cashew growing, and so I think he wanted to sell. And also he visited. And my sister was also sick. So he came to our lodge to see her. He didn't look for me. She was the one that texted me and said, Daddy is coming. He's coming around. He's coming to the school. He's coming to my lodge. Quickly rush, pick a bike and come. So I picked a bike and I came there. He didn't talk to me. I greeted him. He did not speak to me. While he was going, he counted money. I stood by my sister and then he gave her. I said, all right, bye. And I stood looking at him to say, take your own. He didn't give me. And then he drove off. I stood there and I was looking. I started crying. My sister now counted and then shared and gave me. And that was how I left. Till I die, I can never forget it. I was just standing. I said, this is somebody that has not seen me in maybe 3 years or maybe 2 years. I don't know, but I knew it was a long time. He has not seen me. He hasn't heard from me. Nothing. And then if you see the way, because I was broke, I was hungry. The bike I picked to that place, I had no money to even give the bike. It was my sister that gave me. So I was happy that at least today I will have like 2,000 naira or more to have food to eat. And then he didn't look at me. He didn't look at me. He didn't even, how are you? If he had even asked, how are you? And he didn't give me money, I'll say, okay, he cares and all. But he counted money and gave it to my sister. And then he tapped the driver at the front and said, they should go. And that was how he left. And my sister shared money with me, stayed with her for a while, and then I left. Each time it's getting to the point where I need to pay my school fees, I will pray. Like, I knew I had a problem, and I knew that since there is no father, there is no mother. It is only God that can help me. I knew that for a very long time. I drew very, very close to God. I was dedicated to church. I knew God, and I was praying. When it's time for school fees, I would start praying. I will pray. And sometimes I will pay my school fees, like exam is starting today, I will pay yesterday. God will just send help one way or the other. I'll be telling my friends today, exam is starting. No pressure. I will pray and I will relax. And it will come as a shock. You will know that it is nothing short of a miracle, how that money would come. Yes. Yeah. And then the money would come, and then I'll go and pay, and they'll say, okay, you're adding 5,000 extra because it is late payment. Fee. And then the extra would even come, and I'll pay, and then I'll write my exams, and we would proceed.
May I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Some of the experiences you've had growing up, the dysfunctionality of the background, your mom not being in the picture, and then you said at some point when you look at her, you know that she was not fine.
Yeah.
Did that accumulate into like a mental illness for her or what?
Yes. We didn't take her to the hospital, but with how it started with her, we had to ask doctors that, okay, now I wanted to leave this until later, but I have to say it now. My elder sister is a bipolar patient right now. She has bipolar disorder, and right now I think it has graduated to schizophrenia. Okay. It's that bad. So she has a doctor. I had to speak to him. Okay, my mom, because they will ask you, is it hereditary? They will ask questions just to know where it is coming from. And then we explained to him, and then we told him that, okay, this is it. My mom was doing this, she was doing that, and all of that. Now, I would say for my mom, there was also a spiritual
aspect.
Yes, aspect of it. Because anything that is spiritual, when you take it to the hospital, they have a name for it. Okay. So my mom, according to my dad, when my mom was pregnant for me, she couldn't conceive me. When you give her food, she'll tell you that some beings have fed her, so she can't eat. So when her EDD was closed and they took her to the hospital, they said she couldn't push because there was no strength. She wasn't eating. So, and they said it's 50-50. It's either she survives and I die, or I survive and she dies. So it was like that, and they got tired, and my dad said they should bring her back home. So they brought her back home, and she had me by herself in the middle of the night.
At home?
Yeah, at home. So my siblings ran to my dad and said, Daddy, mommy is crying and all. And then he came. There was blood all over me, and I was rolling off the bed. Wow. I was going to fall off when my dad caught me. Wow. According to him. So he went out and called nurses and all of that. And immediately I was born, I think the issue now skyrocketed. Okay. Yes. And so.
For her?
Yes, for her. So.
So you grew up knowing that your mom was somewhere?
Yes, was somewhere.
That was not mentally fine?
Yes. So she was coming once in a while. In fact, I didn't know that this light-skinned woman that was always coming to the house, she would back me. So I didn't know she was my mom. Yes, until maybe when I was 8. Then I was able to I was a very smart kid. I was smart, and at the same time I was timid because of a lot of trauma. I won't speak, but I was smart. I was watching, and I knew some things that were happening at the time. So it was later I was able to put 2 and 2 together, and then I realized that, oh, she's my mom, she's my mother. Wow. Now I was home 3 years ago when I saw Mother's Day card that we decorated when I was in primary 5 in school. You know, Mother's Day and Father's Day, they say bring a cardboard, write a letter to your mom and decorate it, and to your dad. I was maybe 10 years old when that practical was given to us on Mother's Day, and I was crying. I was 8 years old. I was crying. So I remember my teacher asking me, why are you crying? I said, because there is no mother at home to give this card to.
Wow.
I read the letter 3 years ago when I was at home, and I was filled with so much tears. I wrote on the letter, I said, I don't know where you are. I would love to give you this letter, but I'll give it to Tina. That's my sister. I'll give it to Tina on behalf of whatever. I can't remember the English. I just wrote a lot of things in that letter.
Wow.
And when my teacher read it, she came to me and, no, he's a man. He came to me and started asking me questions, and I told him, and I became so close to him. I became so close to him. So, yes. So my mom, she's still sick.
Still sick?
Yeah, she's still sick.
And your dad old?
My dad
Now,
old.
you spoke about how this went on to affect you in terms of your response towards life. You feel that you at some point became bitter?
Very bitter.
Can you run us through that?
Okay. So, while I was in school, Mrs. Jennifer said something. She said, it takes the grace
That's
of
my
God.
last guess.
Yes. She said, it takes the grace of God not to be wayward.
When a father is missing.
I wasn't wayward. I was very conscious. And my siblings, they knew God. So in the house, I wasn't used to watching Nollywood. It is teaching. White preachers, I could name all of them. I know their books because of my siblings, my brother most especially.
Yeah.
So we're always in the house watching, teaching from men of God and all. So it made me have a very strong principle. My principle was strong and was very rigid. Very, very rigid. So while I went to school, when a guy says, I like you, and does something very minimal, it is heavenly to me. Even if it's just the barest minimum, it is gold to me.
Wow.
So I was in school and in 100 level, and this guy came and he was like maybe 7 years older than I am. And he came, I like you, how can we have a relationship and all of that? And I said, okay. And that was how we started. He was very abusive. This guy beat Shege from my life. In
a relationship?
Yes, I was in 100 level. So he would beat me and beat me on the road, in a restaurant, in the school. He will come to my lodge. He will beat me in the lodge so much that, you know, this curtain handle, right? He will remove the curtain handle. He will use it to beat me. He beat me to a point that I broke my eyes. My eyes were blood clotted, and this place was so dark that I started
Were you
using
married
glasses.
to him?
No, I wasn't.
You were in a relationship?
In a relationship, yes. He would come to, and he was in his family house with his mom and his siblings. Maybe he can just call me now, where are you? Or he sees a comment on my post on Facebook and a guy comments beautiful. And I reply, oh, thank you so much, dear. He will pick the next bike.
That.
Yes. He will pick bike to my lodge and he will beat me. He would beat me so much and injure me. So this was going on and I became popular.
For beating?
Yes. People knew what was happening. He would beat me until one day when his mom told me that if I know what is good for me, I should better go. Wow. He will beat me in the mom's presence. He will beat me in her presence.
And you had no one to report him to?
Nobody. I had a mentor, Dr. Kelechi Okoro. She's popular. I told her about it and she said I should come to Lokoja. I was in Aingba where my school is. So I went to Lokoja to meet her. I was in her house. And then she said, I'm giving you this money. Go to the police station in Aingba and go and report this guy so that they can get him arrested. I said, okay. She gave me the money. I came back to school. And I gave him the money.
You gave him the money?
I gave him the money. We spent it together.
What was it like not having a family member you could tell?
I don't know, because We had no relationship. My siblings and I, there was no relationship. So I couldn't, in fact, my siblings will be hearing this for the first time. Yes. He beat me so much. In fact, I had scars, I had injury. And in fact, there was a time he kidnapped me and my friend, my roommate. He kidnapped us. We were in a place just because I said I was not interested anymore. He said she's the one leading me astray. He kidnapped the two of us with some cult-looking guys, kidnapped us in a room. They beat us, they slapped us, and then seized my phone and said, I want to go and meet someone else after all he has invested in me.
Investment of beating?
I don't know. And he says so.
You did it for how long?
I think 2 years.
Yes. Wow, now that's a long time.
Yes, so from day one of the relationship to the last day was beating. Maybe we can go 3 days without beating. And I'm not saying to spank me small, no. To kick me, to hit me. We'll go to a restaurant to eat and maybe I just say something. And the slap, it will beat me from there.
What do you think gave him the audacity to do that?
I think because he knew I had no one. He had observed and he had seen that I had no one to come to my aid at the time. We were always together and he knew that he had never seen daddy calling. You can be beating somebody and you see the mom calling or the dad and then the victim picks the call and say, Daddy, somebody is beating me. There was nothing. There is no big bro calling or big sis coming or daddy or mommy or Uncle Peter or Uncle James calling. There was nobody. So he knew he held me hostage for days. I can't move an inch. I can't do anything. So while that was happening, I started a foundation in school. I was barely 18 years old. I knew that I had a problem and I knew that there were 1001 ladies in my shoe. So I picked cardboard papers and I wrote, say no to domestic violence, say no to this, say no to that, say no to mental this. So I wrote it plenty and then I went to meet girls. I said, please come, let's lift these placards, let's take pictures, let's protest, let's go on the road. And then they don't understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So I started it with so much aggression in school. Yeah. I was barely 18.
Wow.
So we held the cardboards and we took it to the streets in school and we took pictures. I opened a Facebook page. I started writing. I had a lot bottled up to say. Things that I couldn't tell my siblings. I was writing them, making it look like I was telling another person's story. At the time.
But you were telling your own story.
Yes, but I was telling my own story. What I experienced from my dad. It sounds really casual, right? But every single thing I went through is like I grew up with an emptiness inside of my soul. A very deep emptiness that you can't get through to me. We can have a conversation, but yes, you won't get through to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't get through to me.
You've walled yourself.
Yes, exactly. And I was walking like somebody without shield, somebody without comfort. Like I was like an orphan. And then I had siblings that maybe they could stand like a mother or like a father. Nah, there was nothing like that because they had their own struggles they were going through. Yeah. Different levels. They can speak about their own experiences now as I'm doing, and I'll be like, okay, so this thing too was happening to you while I was going through my own. Wow. Yes, that was how it was.
Till today, your dad, did he ever find out that you dated a guy who was beating you like that?
No. We can never have such conversations. We can never.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is. We can never have such conversation.
While you were going through that abuse from that guy, where did that leave you mentally?
You know, the kind of cry that I've cried in my life, in my small life. I was always crying and I was always bitter. It built so much anger, resentment, pain, and I pass it through words.
Wow.
Yes, when my words they are poisonous. Now, I was not able to keep good friendships. There are people that I knew that God sent them to my life. I chased them away with the words from my mouth, even with my actions.
Wow.
Yes. You can't, when we are having, you know, this little misunderstanding you and your friend can just have or something, I will finish you with my mouth. I will curse you.
And the relationship would
end. I remember I had a friend, we were really close and everything was going smoothly. And the last thing she said to me was, Ufedo, I don't know what you are dealing with, but you need healing. That was the last thing she said to me in 2020 or 2021. That's the last thing she said to me before we officially broke up. We were having back and forth, talking, issues here and there. And she just told me on the phone, she said, Ufedo, I don't know what you are dealing with, but you need healing. And she said so. So when I came across you, I now remembered what she said to me. It just came to my head. It hit me so hard. And I was like, wow, she was right.
You didn't know you needed healing.
I didn't know. But, you know, when I started my foundation, even though I did not register, I couldn't afford to register it at the time. And I was carrying placards up and down. I was writing. I was ready to gather ladies down to talk to them.
Wow.
So something was missing. I knew that the message I was passing needs to come with healing.
Yeah.
I did not have it. So I couldn't give what I did not have.
Wow.
So I just sparked ladies and I was talking. But this healing I wanted people or ladies to badly have, I did not have it. So I dropped it one side and I said, I will come back later.
Wow.
In the future. So when you came around and I was watching and I was listening to you, I was crying and I said, this is what is missing. I know it when I see it. I said, this is what is missing. This is what is not there. This is the emptiness.
Yeah.
This is it. I said, once I have it. So I was telling God, I said, I don't know. Maybe the things that Apostle know, help me to know them. Because I need people to hear this. Let people know. There are a lot of people that are going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So I was more concerned about other people getting healing. But I did not focus on myself until you came around.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's when I knew that, I need to work on myself. I need to do something. It's bad. So when my fiancé came into the picture, his presence too now made me to realize that there is a big difference.
Wow.
He came from a family of love. In fact, when we went to Ibadan to meet his parents and I saw them hugging, holding on to each other, they were praising God, they were praying together. The love was a surprise.
You were shocked?
I was shocked. In fact, I didn't want to leave Ibadan.
Wow.
I didn't want to leave because it was new to me. It was strange.
Wow.
Do you know that, in fact, before we went to Ibadan, when his mother calls him every day, his father calls him every day, how are you? How are you doing? Sheti Jeon. I will get so pissed and angry. Like, why is your mother calling you? Why is your father? Why are your siblings checking? Why are you people checking on each other? Is it normal? Please, I will get so, when I see his mom calling him, the anger will just build in me.
Wow.
Why is your mom? No mom has ever called me.
Wow.
My dad has never.
Wow.
So when I saw that they were calling him, there was so much love to give. I was like, no, this is a red flag. Yes.
You considered it a red
Yes,
flag?
I said it's a red flag that his siblings, there was so much love. It's not possible.
Wow.
So when we now went to Ibadan and I saw that they were not pretending, no, there is love here, there is unity here.
Wow.
I was amazed. And now God did something for me.
Yes.
His mom is so in love with me. when she's calling me and she's hugging me, she can just be kissing me and be hugging me and be holding me. And I'm like, wow. In my mind, I'll be crying. I'll be crying like, so this is what I'm missing. She's not my mom. And she has a lot of love to give to me. So I'll now begin to imagine what I have missed from my mother.
Wishing you had that.
Yes, I had that. I do not know what it means to have a motherly love. If you experience it for a while and it goes, you can say, I have an idea. I don't have an idea of what a motherly love or even a fatherly love, what it means. At all. So I remember days I was in so much pain while I was at home because my dad would call me a child of shame, a child of disgrace.
Really?
He would, no blessings at all. They were all curses when he's angry or you do something just little. But maybe you break his glass cup. Oh, you are cursed.
Wow.
Yes, it was that bad. So there were days that I would just be in the room and I would be crying seriously.
Oh, true.
I took the Bible and I tore my Bible. I tore because I was a praying child.
Yes.
I was a praying child. I could see.
Yeah,
I could see things before they happen.
Okay.
Now you can be carrying a baby and then I'll just see a flash that the baby falls from your hand. And I'll tell you that baby will fall if you're not careful and the baby will fall from your hand. So I had a beautiful relationship with God as a child. So I was like, God, why are you letting this thing happen to me? So I took my Bible, I tore my Bible. I said, God, you are wicked. God, you are evil. I started calling God names. I tore my Bible and I threw it. My life was still going the same way. I said, okay, it's better. Just follow God. Whether things get better or not, just you have nothing to lose. Just keep following God. So I went back to God. I apologized and I said, please, I'm sorry. It was pain that made me. And one thing with me, when I'm talking to God, I don't talk like I'm praying. Like I have a conversation.
Rapport.
I sit down and I say, see, God, I know you are here. Do this, do that. And he answers.
Wow.
He answers. When I was with my ex,
The guy that
No.
Okay, the other one.
Yes.
Okay.
While I was with him, I was very bitter. He wasn't hitting me. But I was used to being beaten.
Oh.
So I want him to beat me.
Really?
Yes, I want him to beat me. I would provoke him to a point of getting a knife. Beat me, harm me, do something to me, like beat me. You don't love me, beat me. Like it was so intense. Now he would do a lot of things maybe wrong, and I would want us to, let's fight. Let's fight. Beat me. He won't beat me. He would tell me, he said, I would rather break up with you than beat you.
Wow.
Yeah. But I just wanted him to beat me because I felt it was a norm. It was correct. Because of where I was coming from.
You felt that you deserved it.
Yes. That I felt like if I do something wrong, he should beat me. That's the punishment. Maybe for
as a woman.
Yes, should have if she does something wrong. Or maybe when there's a small misunderstanding. And it was when my fiancé came into the picture, he made me understand that it is possible to have a relationship and a marriage without stress. He said his parents had it. I said it's a lie. It's not possible. We must fight, oh. I used to say that to him, we must fight. He said, see. So when I'm talking, he looks at me like, Sometimes you say, God, this is not what I want. God, this is not what I want. You say, God, this is not what I want. God, this is not what I planned for. This is not what I want. I'll be like, I always say, farabale. That's what I used to say. I'll say, calm down. He'd be like, no, this is not what I want. And I'm like, you said, his parents had, in fact, till today, they have a stress-free relationship. No quarrel, no issue. He said his mother has never grumbled. Neither has his father ever screamed on top of his voice. I said it's a lie.
Wow.
So he said that's the type he wants to have. But I now remember I had to search deep inside my heart. And I asked myself certain questions.
Yes.
Is this what you really want? Is this correct? Is this right? Then I now remembered prayers I used to pray as a child. I told God that I want to have a good marriage, a beautiful marriage. I want to love my children passionately. I want to be there for them.
Wow.
everything I did not enjoy from my mom and
Yeah.
my dad, I want my children to
enjoy
enjoy it. I was saying to myself that I want people to look at my children and they are jealous because of so much love I and my husband, we have to give to them. So when he came into the picture again, he started, when you bring a bad water and a good water, you will see how dirty the bad one is. But before the good water comes, you can say, let me manage it. But when the good one now comes, you can see how dirty it is.
Difference.
But yeah, you can want the good water. I was willing to manage myself. I'm going to say, a man will come and marry me like this and I'll just go. But when he came into the picture, it was clear that I had a big problem. I had a huge problem. And he was very patient with me. He was teaching me. But I would scream and I would shout. I would talk. I would say a lot of things. And he would just be quiet. He's so scared. At a point, he was so scared of me. He can't say certain things to me. He would be careful. He would be counting his words. Maybe he wants to have a conversation with me. He has to prepare for it and maybe rehearse.
Yeah. Wow.
You understand? And one day he sat me down and he opened everything up to me and said, this is how I've been feeling. I can't talk to you. I can't do this. I can't do that. So when you came into the picture and I said, okay, let's leave the church we are attending and come here. He was so, oh yeah, let's go. Shebi is what will make you progress.
Wow.
I need to change you. Oh yeah, let's go. And that was how.
How has been your journey of healing since then?
Oh, it's been so beautiful. Like